Remember part 1 where we dove into vampires, dragons, and the Kraken? Well, buckle up because part 2 is going to blow your mind even more. Today, we're exploring 7 more legendary monsters that terrorized our ancestors. But here's the twist. Every single one has a scientific explanation. Some were real animals, others were ancient fossils that confused people, and a few, nature is playing tricks on the human mind. Let's uncover the truth behind the legends. The Yeti, the abominable snowman. Get your snow coats on because our first stop is high in the Himalayas, where the air is thin and the snow never melts. For centuries, rumors of the Yeti had spread. Legends had it that it stood nearly 8 feet tall, covered in pure white fur, a massive ape-like beast. The first major Western report came in 1921 when a British expedition to Mount Everest found enormous footprints in the snow. Then in 1951, mountaineer Eric Shipton photographed mysterious tracks on the Menlung Glacier. The photo went viral and sparked decades of Yeti fever. Everyone and their grandma was talking about it. Expeditions were launched, alleged Yeti scalps were found in Tibetan monasteries. Suddenly, everyone knew someone who had seen a Yeti. But here's what scientists discovered. In 2017, researchers collected hair samples, bones, and teeth from alleged Yeti specimens across the Himalayas. They ran DNA tests on everything. The results? Every single sample came from bears, specifically Himalayan brown bears and Tibetan blue bears. These bears can stand on their hind legs and reach over 7 feet tall. When they walk upright in snow, their tracks look eerily human. At high altitudes, bears suffer from a condition that makes their fur appear lighter, almost white. Combined with the harsh mountain environment, these bears look absolutely terrifying when spotted from a distance. The Yeti wasn't mythical, it was just a rare bear species that evolved to do some pretty cool tricks. The Mokele-mbembe, Africa's living dinosaur. Deep in the Congo Basin, local tribes told stories for generations about Mokele-mbembe, one who stops the flow of rivers. According to witnesses, it's massive, 16 to 30 feet long, with a long neck, small head, and 4 sturdy legs. Sounds exactly like a sauropod dinosaur, right? In 1980, Dr. Roy Mackal traveled to the Congo to investigate. Local guides consistently pointed to the same swampy areas and gave matching descriptions. Could a dinosaur really survive there? Scientists say no, they've been gone for millions of years. But something else perfectly explains the legend: the hippopotamus. Hippos spend hours submerged with only their eyes and nostrils visible. When they surface suddenly, their massive bodies and thick necks can look prehistoric. In murky swamp water at dusk, a surfacing hippo could easily be mistaken for something far stranger. African forest elephants also wade through these swamps. When partially submerged with their trunks raised, they create a silhouette that looks remarkably like a long-necked creature. Whether it was a hippo or an elephant, we would never know the exact one they saw, but what we do know is that there is no way it was a dinosaur. The Thunderbird, giant birds of Native American legend. Across North America, Native American tribes told stories of the Thunderbird, a massive bird so large that its wings created thunder and its eyes flashed lightning. Warriors reported birds with 20-foot wingspans that could carry off full-grown deer. In the 1800s, American settlers also reported impossibly large birds. So what were people actually seeing? Let's find out. Meet the California condor. With wingspans up to 10 feet, these birds are absolutely massive. When soaring high, distance makes them appear even larger. To someone unfamiliar with condors, seeing one dive from the clouds would be terrifying. So it was very easy to conclude that the monster Thunderbird is probably a California condor, who was maybe guilty of being massive and scaring our ancestors. The Griffin, the guardian beast. The griffin, part lion, part eagle, has appeared in mythologies from ancient Egypt, Persia, Greece, and Rome for over 4,000 years. Ancient texts claimed griffins guarded gold deposits in the Central Asian mountains. Greek historian Herodotus wrote about them in the 5th century BC as fierce creatures that attacked treasure thieves. For thousands of years, people assumed this was pure fantasy. Then paleontologist Adrian Mayer made a groundbreaking discovery. In the deserts of Mongolia and Kazakhstan, exactly where griffin legends originated, there are massive deposits of Protoceratops fossils. This dinosaur was about the size of a large dog with 4 legs and a distinctive beaked skull. Here's the incredible part. When these fossils erode from the ground, they're often found in areas rich in gold deposits. Ancient gold miners constantly encountered these strange skeletons, and like any normal medieval person with medieval knowledge, they created stories to fill in the gaps of what was unknown and how it got there. The Protoceratops skull has a large beak, like an eagle, a quadruped body, like a lion, and fossils are often found in a crouched position that could look like a creature with folded wings. Ancient people had never seen a dinosaur. They had no concept of extinction or fossils. When they found these beaked, 4-legged skeletons near gold deposits, they created a legend, a creature that guards treasure. To them, that was more believable than a time traveler trying to explain how the fossils of a prehistoric animal got to their minds. The Bunyip, Australia's swamp monster. In Aboriginal Australian mythology, the Bunyip is a terrifying creature lurking in swamps and rivers, a large animal with a dog-like face, dark fur, flippers, tusks, and a horrible bellowing cry. When European settlers arrived in the 1800s, they also began reporting Bunyip sightings. In 1845, newspapers published detailed accounts of a skull found near Melbourne that locals claimed belonged to a Bunyip. So what was it? Scientists believe it's a combination of several real animals. The Australian fur seal matches many descriptions. These seals have dark fur, move awkwardly on land, have prominent whiskers, and make loud, bellowing calls. Seen partially submerged in murky water at dusk, they could easily look monstrous. Then there's the wombat. Imagine encountering one at night by a river. They're stocky, powerful, can be aggressive, and make strange grunting sounds. But the real answer lies in paleontology. Until about 50,000 years ago, Australia was home to Diprotodon, the largest marsupial ever. It weighed up to 6,000 pounds, looked like a giant wombat, and lived near water. Aboriginal Australians lived alongside these creatures. Stories have been passed down through oral tradition for thousands of years. By the time Europeans arrived, Diprotodon was extinct, but the legends remained. The Bunyip is a cultural memory of real megafauna mixed with encounters with modern animals like seals and wombats. The Basilisk, the king of serpents. Harry Potter fans would have a visual clue on what a basilisk looks like, but do you know its origin story? In medieval European legends, the basilisk was the king of serpents, so deadly that its gaze could kill instantly, its breath was poisonous, and it could kill plants just by passing near them. Ancient Roman scholar Pliny the Elder wrote about it in 79 AD as a small snake with a crown-like marking. By the Middle Ages, the legend had grown. Now it was a giant serpent or a creature with a rooster's body and a snake's tail. So what's the truth? The basilisk legend comes from real venomous snakes that medieval people didn't understand. The Egyptian cobra perfectly fits the description. It has a distinctive hood with markings that look like a crown. Its venom is extremely potent and causes death quickly. Ancient Egyptians called it the serpent of the pharaohs. When threatened, cobras can spit venom accurately at a predator's eyes, causing blindness and excruciating pain. To someone being attacked, it would absolutely seem like the snake killed with its gaze. There's also the European adder, the only venomous snake in much of Europe. Its zigzag back pattern can look crown-like, and its bite was often deadly in medieval times without medical treatment. Medieval people also observed that areas where venomous snakes lived had fewer plants and animals. This wasn't because of the snake's deadly aura. Other creatures simply avoided areas with predators. The basilisk wasn't a mythical hybrid monster. It was real venomous snakes whose behavior was misunderstood and exaggerated over centuries, and it certainly does not look like the creature Harry Potter fought with in the Chamber of Secrets. The Noken, Scandinavian's deadly water spirit. In Norwegian, Swedish, and Icelandic folklore, the Noken is a shape-shifting water spirit that lives in rivers and lakes. Most commonly, it appears as a handsome young man playing a violin, so beautiful that it's impossible to resist. But anyone who gets too close is dragged underwater and drowned. The earliest written mentions date to medieval times, but the oral tradition is much older. Parents used these stories to warn children about water dangers, and that's exactly what the Noken is, a cautionary tale based on very real environmental dangers. Scandinavian waters are extremely dangerous. The cold causes hypothermia within minutes. Strong underwater currents pull swimmers down. In winter, thin ice can crack suddenly, plunging people into freezing water. The beautiful music that lures people? That's likely wind passing over water, creating eerie musical tones. This phenomenon, called singing ice, happens when ice sheets crack and resonate. The shape-shifting element makes sense too. Floating logs, patches of seaweed, and mist over water create shapes that look like figures, especially at dusk or in fog. The Noken isn't supernatural. It's a powerful cultural tool created to keep people, especially children, safe from very real environmental dangers. 7 more monsters, 7 scientific explanations. From Himalayan bears to dinosaur fossils, from giant birds to venomous snakes, our ancestors weren't making things up. They were seeing real things and trying to explain them with the knowledge they had. These legends aren't evidence that our ancestors were gullible. They're evidence that humans are natural storytellers who try to make sense of their world. The real world is full of creatures just as amazing as any myth. We just need science to help us see them clearly. Which creature surprised you most? Drop a comment below, smash that like button, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.